Yum, 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 yum.
Welcome to the beautiful Rooms Café in the Rooms in St. John's, the restaurant with the most fabulous view, I'm sure, of all restaurants in the city. Hi, I'm Karl Wells, food critic for The Telegram.
I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
And Steve, I just noticed they have binoculars on the tables here to allow people to take advantage of the view. And you have really big pores.
Yeah, keep it up, Karl. Keep it up.
Anyway, we're here today because we have kind of an art-themed show for you. They have a magnificent art gallery here at the Rooms, of course. And later, when we head off to the One Chef One Critic kitchen, our special guest in the kitchen
is Grant Boland. An amazing Newfoundland artist, and his attention to detail, especially in the food.
Absolutely, he does food paintings, plus of course he does paintings of a lot of other subject matter as well. So Grant is going to help us whip up a nice curry actually today, one of his favorite dishes, and we're going to have some nice wine with it. Oh, it's going to be great. Now, Chef Roger Andrews is with us as well. He's an instructor with the College of the North Atlantic, and he is going to help us show us actually how to make food look very pretty on the plate.
80% of eating is in the presentation.
Absolutely. You eat with your eyes first, Stephen. And Chef Andrews is going to show us how to take an ordinary, everyday meal and dress it up so that it looks really, really good. Speaking of food, what have you got here?
I've got a beautiful pan-seared scallop with some beautiful Asian noodles and a soya lime sauce.
Looks really delicious. And Chef Pascal here at the Rooms Cafe has prepared a beautiful crab and Gouda cake for me. And let's have a taste.
Let's dig in.
You know, one thing I noticed here, they write down your orders. In a lot of places, they don't do that, and that can be really dangerous. Well, Grant Boland is one of our finest artists in Newfoundland and Labrador, and you saw his work earlier in the program, those amazing still life paintings. Just great. I love his work, and so do thousands of other people. Grant, welcome to One Chef One Critic's kitchen. It's great to have you here.
Oh, thanks a lot.
So today we're going to do something I think that you like, curry.
I love curry.
Excellent, Grant. What I've got for you today, and what we used to do in the kitchens, for over 30 years I was in the kitchens, at the end of the service, at the end of the day actually, whatever was left over, it could have been prime rib, it could have been chicken, could be turkey or whatever, but for today I'm going to make a beautiful lamb curry. With that I'm going to add some apricots, some raisins, some cashew nuts, and I'm going to use a Madras curry powder, so we don't have to worry about all the different kinds of spices, and it'll be very mellow because of the fruitiness coming through.
So it's already mixed for you?
It's already mixed for us. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil into our pan like so. And while that's going there, if you can put maybe a half of those onions into the pan for me, don't be shy. Excellent.
Grant, do you make curry at home yourself?
I do, yeah.
Yeah?
Perfect. And I'll give you... Sorry.
Go ahead.
If you just go around and if you just carry on stirring that, and I'll add some of the other ingredients while we're going.
So what type of curry do you make at home?
What type of dishes? Or?
Yeah, if you make Thai curry, Indian curry, hot curry, red curry, green curry.
Mostly Indian, like butter chicken and vindaloo.
Oh, nice. I love butter chicken.
Oh, me too.
So what I've got in there, we've got our vegetables, which we're nicely sweating off there. I'll just turn it up just a tad there. And the whole dish is only going to take us about half an hour from start to finish because we've already got the lamb cooked, as you can see, so to speak. So
that's an interesting point, Steve, because I've never done curry with meat that's already been cooked.
Well, the flavour, the lamb is quite strong anyway, but not too overpowering. It's not our mutton like in yesteryear, so to speak. So it's really going to come through, really draw through the flavours of the vegetables and everything else.
So that lamb was roasted, obviously.
It was roasted, correct, yeah. And it was a full leg of lamb, actually, that we roasted off and then just diced it, so.
Lots
Add
of
our garlic.
I love garlic, too.
Yeah, don't be shy with any of the product that you want to put in there, that's for sure.
Grant, you started painting when you were just a little guy.
Oh yeah, I started off like everybody else with a box of crayons.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're from St. Mary's originally. That's pretty
St.
cool.
Mary's Bay, yeah. Riverhead.
Oh, you're from Riverhead. Oh,
Yeah.
very good. Very good.
Now, I think Mary Pratt and Christopher Pratt had some influence on you when you were young, eh?
Yeah, I grew up not too far away from their studios, and yeah, they were very, very supportive and helpful. And Mary Pratt used to let me take studio visits when I was a teenager.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So I learned a lot from her. She was a great, great woman.
So you'd actually spend time watching her painting?
Sometimes, yeah, or she'd assign me some projects and whatnot.
Oh, okay. So she was kind of tutoring you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
she kind of cut right through the politics and
Yeah, yeah. So what happened then? You went on and studied art?
yeah, I went to art school in Corner Brook.
I'm just going to add the curry powder now. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3. And if we just... Now you'll start to smell the curry coming through. I'm just going to add the lamb now, the cooked lamb. You can see it's nice and... Oops. Let's get that one
The
back.
stove
in
is
there.
clean, folks. So you just picked up a piece there.
There we go. Absolutely.
You're really starting to get the aromas from
Coming
this
through
now.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That Madras curry powder is really, really releasing a lot of its scents.
Now, is the Madras curry powder, does that have a heat to it?
Not a great deal of heat, but again, it's personal preference. If you want to heat it up, you can add your chilies to it and things like that. But that could, again, personal preference.
Right.
At home, when I cook it, I have to keep it quite mild for my kids. But with the fruitiness in there, and that's all going to come through directly. And at the last minute, we're going to be adding some diced apples, about 5-10 minutes beforehand. I don't want to add it in too early because they'll just go to mush. And what I'm thinking about most of the time is the presentation of the meal afterwards.
Should you use a particular type of apple, Steve?
Well, what I've got here is just like a red delicious, which is fine. If you
Granny
want
Smith
a
would be
Granny
fine.
Smith, oh, absolutely, absolutely. Again, I'm looking for some colour to come through the particular dish as well. And what we're going to be serving with it, we're going to be serving some basmati rice, which I've got on cooking there
This
directly.
is the rice here.
Rice there, perfect. Now, at the last minute, I'm just going to add some of these tomatoes in there, and we'll bring it to the boil. And it will take maybe about 15 minutes now to cook through. So we'll just add that all to the dish itself. You can see that beautiful colour coming through, the smells and the aromas.
The sizzle.
It smells great.
It does, doesn't it? It's really going to be nice and flavourful in there,
Yeah.
that's for sure. And if we find when we're reducing it, it's getting a little bit thinner and things like that, we'll just add a little bit of V8 juice in there again, you see.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than using the stocks and the chicken stocks and things like that. Oh, it's boiling nicely now, so...
So you're adding the flavors from all of the, well, I guess the 8 different vegetables.
The 8 different vegetables, so it's probably going to be a 15 vegetable stew now, there you go.
That's
so.
right, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good, very good, very good.
Well, the way you paint light is extraordinary. Is that something that's difficult for a lot of artists to achieve? Because not many people do it. Certainly not the way you do it.
I don't know. I can't speak for the artist, but
It's like me trying to speak for other chefs, right, you know?
but I guess you can look at light. You can compare it to like a musical score in a movie. It sets the tone and mood.
It sure does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because your work is really extraordinary for many reasons, but you always kind of have a narrative in your pieces. They kind of tell a story, and the light really plays an important role in it,
Definitely.
doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So about your still life work, I was looking at some of your work a while ago, and I noticed that you have straightforward titles for most of them, like it's French apples in a window or cherries and chocolate. But there was one, it was a can of sardines, and I can't remember what you'd called it, but
Affection.
Affection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you call the can of sardines Affection?
Actually, it looked like a couple in bed. Like,
Oh. The 2 sardines.
and
and the tin rolled back was kind of like the bed sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's really clever. Well, there you go.
So we're almost done there now, and as I said, about another 10 minutes or so. And what we're really doing now is reheating the lamb. The vegetables, I like to keep it al dente, just a little undercooked. And again, I'm looking at presentation for the final meal of it.
Right.
So, and then what we'll do with something like this, again going back to the kitchens, is we'd have a pot here on the stove, we'd have the rice there, and all the chefs would stand around the big table, and we'd all have a bowl with this, and away we went to the races. So.
Do you have a trick with the basmati rice?
Never stir it. The quantities is 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. Put the lid on it and just let it boil and just let it simmer.
Right.
Then let it simmer, but never stir it, because at the end you just want to fork it through and it'll come really nice and fluffy. And when we sit at the table, you'll actually see that.
Right.
So.
Grant, congratulations are in order. You have a new baby.
Yes, I do.
You and your
yeah.
spouse. How's it being a daddy?
It's great. Your perspective on things certainly changed, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
What would you tell Jack if he said, "Dad, I think I want to be an artist like you"?
Run away. Yeah, try counting or something.
Yeah, that's right. So you have an event coming up in Boston soon.
Oh no, I'm just shopping around for galleries and.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a gallery here in St. John's,
Yeah.
Christina Parker Gallery,
Yeah.
and one in BC, and
So you're going to make a trip to Boston.
just opening things up a bit.
See if they can appreciate your work down in Boston.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Perfect.
What's it like traveling and coming up with images for your paintings? Because I know you've been to Cuba. That's one place you've been, as well as New York. I've seen those paintings.
Actually, my favorite part of traveling is the eating.
Oh. How was the food in Cuba?
Really simple, but healthy. It
Yeah.
makes you feel good for sure, but
Yeah.
very, very simple food.
Yeah. Lots of beans and...
Yeah, and they have no access to spices.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Just like us, we have a spicy or savoury, don't we? You know?
Yes, that's right.
You know, that's,
Are we the only people that use that? Or?
well, I've done many travels around the world, and savoury is our home.
Yeah.
We're identified, just like our culture. It's right here. You
It's
know.
a staple, too.
It is very much so.
Now, I'm not sure about what kind of wine should go with this, but Jeremy down in the cellar, I'm sure, is going to come up with something for us. He's never let me down yet. I'm going to take off. You guys can set up the table.
I certainly will. Yeah, he keeps talking about this fella downstairs. I have no idea whatsoever. And heard once he wants to take my jacket, so.
I am starving. What is this? No dressing. There's a fork. Where'd it go, guys? Oh, Carl.
Jeremy.
You got a fork or some salad dressing, something? I'm starving, and I gotta go to work soon, and I need something to eat. I got no fork. And I smell curry upstairs, but I didn't get invited to dinner, so I figured I'd grab something.
Yeah, well, you've only got enough for 3 people, Jeremy. I'm sorry. Look, maybe next time. Listen, what we've got up there today is curry. It's a lamb curry. It's got madras curry powder. It's a combination of different spices. It's not too hot.
Smells wonderful.
Yeah, it does. Smells great, doesn't it? Can't wait to get some. Oh, I'm salivating. Anyway, it's got fruit, apples, raisins. It's got
Yeah.
tomatoes. It's absolutely gorgeous, but I'm really stuck on what kind of wine to serve with this curry. Well, what do you suggest,
I need a fork.
Jeremy?
Well, curry. You know what? Curry you can do anything with. Pinot, Gewürztraminer, Riesling.
Right.
We said it's a mild curry though, so
Mild, yes.
you know what? Let's do a red. Let's do a nice spicy Zinfandel. Lots of fruit, jammy.
Okay.
Great wine to have a curry. A lot
Yeah.
of fruit in the curry, I assume, as well.
Well, there's apples, raisins.
Perfect. You'll be
there's-
all set. Well, this is the
tomatoes.
entry level here for
Okay.
Zinfandel. This is the price range. This is around 18. You're looking 18 to $20.
Well, that's not bad. I've never heard of that one, but
California is king
McManus.
for Zinfandel as well. They make
Yeah.
lots of Zinfandel and do a great job with
Yeah, and it's available here, right?
It is.
Okay, because we only want wines that are available here.
All available locally.
All right.
Next up would be middle of the road Camus.
Camus, I've heard of.
Now,
yeah.
great producer, really well known, been
Yeah.
doing wine for years. And then this, you're looking around 35 to 40, around that range.
I've actually had that one, I think. Yeah. Okay.
And then next up, sort of the top end of the Zinfandel, you're looking single vineyards or smaller producers, limited production. Adobe Road, again, smaller producer, more of sort of a cult sort of status wine. Zinfandel, but great with curry. You got that fruit, you got a little bit of spice to sort of match up with it.
So the Adobe Road would cost how much?
Adobe Road, you're looking around 75, it's 60, usually $60 to $80 for the high-end Zinfandels like that.
Well, Grant certainly deserves that, but they say you should only serve guests what you've had before, just to be sure. So I've had the Camus in, and I think I'm going to serve him this because I'm sure that he would like this.
One thing to remember, if you go really high alcohol content with wine, it's going to intensify spice. So as long as it's mild, you're safe with that.
Okay, great.
All right?
Okay,
great.
Thanks. See you later.
Take care. You got a fork? Maybe some dressing?
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
So I couldn't decide on what to paint for Karl, and this is actually a painting of me not knowing what to paint.
Well, talking about Karl, where is Karl with the wine? He's disappeared again.
Oh, I'm here. Gosh.
With your friend been down there?
Yes, my
Jeremy?
friend Jeremy was down there, yeah. And he is there.
Oh, okay.
If you could be bothered to go down and select the bottle of wine yourself sometime, you'd see him.
The wine, please.
Can I have your glass, please, Grant? These chefs. Grant, I was going to ask you, you mentioned earlier in the program about spices not being readily available in Cuba. I suppose that's because of the embargo?
Right. Yeah, they use oils, vinegars, salt, sugar, really basic ingredients, but they can do wonders with
Amazing things with it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, this wine that Jeremy has selected for us is by Camus, a California winemaker. It's a Zinfandel. Jeremy told me something interesting, by the way. If you're having a really spicy, hot curry, you shouldn't go with a wine that has a really high alcohol content because it intensifies the heat. But since this is a mild curry, the alcohol content in this Zinfandel is not going to be a problem.
Well, let's taste it then. Let's taste the curry.
Let's taste the curry and see what kind of a job you've done today, Stephen.
Perfect. Oh, very good. Yeah.
So Grant is going to give us one of his butter chicken recipes, and I understand it's a really good recipe. You can get Steve's recipe from today on our website, centraldairies.com. Go to the One Chef One Critic page and send us your feedback. We'd love to know what you think of our program, and send us your recipes as well. Gentlemen, it's been a slice.
Cheers.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Cheers.
For more of Chef Steve Watson's recipes, our recommended wine lists, and guest recipes, log on to centraldairies.com. Have a recipe that you want to share with us? Send it along to onechef.onecritic@rci.rogers.com. Be sure to attach your name, address, and contact number, and you and a guest could be eligible to win a dinner for two at one of our city's finest restaurants. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600.
Karl, here's an idea. When cutting carrots, cut them with a 45-degree bias to enhance the presentation of your plate.
Well, I couldn't wait for my sticky toffee pudding, and your parsnip cake looks good too.
It does indeed. Now, folks, if you're like me, you may consider yourself to be a good cook, but maybe not so great at making food look fantastic on the plate. Well, we've resolved to help you with that. Chef Roger Andrews is an award-winning chef who recently was runner-up in the Canadian Chef of the Year competition.
So let's join Roger now in the kitchen of the College of the North Atlantic for a lesson in how to dress up a plate.
Meantime, we'll taste this wonderful dessert.
That's good. Tastes good.
Roger, I'm really excited to be here today because making food look beautiful on the plate is something I've always been interested in. Probably because I've never been very good at it. But what you have here today is what? You've got 3 courses, I guess, that we'd put together at home.
Yeah, exactly. I just have like a basic potato soup someone would make at home, not garnished. And then I have a green salad with some veggies and just like your basic chicken dinner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize a few extra products and show how to make this look a little bit fancier if you were bringing some special people into your house.
Great. So we're going to take the same basic dishes, same basic ingredients, and dress them up real good.
Exactly.
Okay. So what are you going to do first?
First, what I'm going to do is the salad. And instead of having like the whole strawberries, what I did is just made a little puree of strawberries. I'm just going to put that on the spoon, and give it a little drag through the center of the plate like so.
Nice.
And that'll just add a little base color on there. And I'm going to take a little, what I have is a half a tomato, hollow it at the center, put the little greens inside, and I have another little salad of just some onions that we're going to put on the other end right here with some couple of orange segments. And then just give it a little quick drizzle of some olive oil.
That's fabulous.
So that's the basic salad. One thing you'd always want to do is just give the plate a little wipe there if you get anything around the rims, just to make it look nice and clean.
There you go, folks.
So I'll hand that one to you.
The very same ingredients, but done a little differently so that it has much more visual appeal. And I really like what you've done with the tomato. That looks great, but it's so simple to do.
Very easy to do.
I would never have thought of it. So what can you possibly do with soup to make it look better?
Soup is soup, but you could still do a few little things with garnishes and stuff to dress it up a bit. One thing that you could do is have a little bit of a different shaped bowl, which I have here. It's almost like a triangle with some curved edges and stuff like that. So you just want to ladle your soup into the base of the bowl. And you don't want a whole lot, just a little bit there. And this is just a potato and bacon soup. So I just have a little bit of
nice piece of bacon.
Nice piece of bacon. Everybody loves bacon.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
a little bit of sour cream on top of that.
Yep.
So essentially, it would be like having a baked potato at home, but it's actually a baked potato soup type thing.
Yeah.
A little bit of cheddar cheese. And then I have a little bit of paprika oil here, which is just, you make it like you would tea. You warm your oil with some paprika and strain it out through a coffee filter. Gives a beautiful, brilliant reddish color.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Drizzle that around the soup.
And there we go.
And there we go.
Just look at that, everybody. Isn't that incredible? What a difference between what we normally do at home and what Roger has done with this beautiful shaped bowl as well. That is really, really impressive. Now, Roger's coming back with that's a pastry bag, isn't it?
It's a pastry bag. One thing that a lot of people do when you're planning up a main course is they put it in what we call on a round plate, like a clock. You do 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Right, yeah.
So this is just a little bit of a different way to plate a main course. One being, I just have some potatoes in a piping bag here. I'm just going to pipe that along, plate like so.
So there's your mashed potato.
There's your mashed potato. I'm just going to have a few carrots on this end.
I really like the shape of the plate too. That rectangular shape is really neat.
The shape of the plates, if you utilize them correctly, really make a difference on how the food is presented. Then we just have some chicken. Just going to put that across this way. And all I did with the chicken versus here is just stuffed it inside and rolled it up.
Yep.
And for color, just a little bit of asparagus. You just take a little bit of your sauce.
There we go.
And just go along the outside of the chicken.
That looks beautiful, Roger. Well, there you go, folks. Some very simple ways. I'm going to bring this over here now so Paul, the cameraman, can get a little better shot of it. Just some very simple ways for dressing up food that we'd, everyday food really, that we'd cook during the week at home. Thanks very much, Roger, for helping us out with plate presentation on One Chef, One Critic.
Well, this was a great way to end the program.
It certainly was.
I can't wait till next week. Folks, join us again next week for another 3-course adventure.
I'll be watching.
I'm sure you will. Join us next week for
One Chef,
One Critic. I'll be watching.
You will.
Do you exfoliate?
Can't you tell?
Yeah.
That's why I got
You need
glasses
a
on.
little bit of tightening.
Yeah.
Especially around this area here. I know somebody who has a special chemical peel that can help with that.
Yeah, you probably do. You probably do. All I'm thinking of here, anybody can see me now. Jesus.
They can, the whole
Yeah, God,
goddamn restaurant.